an event like Heaven's Cross is beyond a global shift. It is a quantum shift. It is evolutionary, and it is revolutionary, and it is really off the scales, quantum. This is where it goes off the charts. But what is happening right now with Heaven's Cross, it is a level 4 change that is occurring on the planet right now. There has not been a level 4 shift on the planet since the downfall of Atlantis, that long ago. We talked about the headbangers. We said, which is my term for those Atlanteans who started the work with the crystals, the energy, all for the purpose of standardizing the human body and brain, but ultimately led to the land of blue, getting trapped, particularly in the mind, also in the body, but particularly in the mind, altering eventually what would be called the DNA, making limitation kind of acceptable. Who are the ones that I call the headbangers, the very ones that kind of initiated all this headband technology. That's why you're the ones that have chosen to go back through, to be the first out of it. So you're amongst the first to be going through this. We always I don't know if you wondered, but others have. Why this group? What brought us together? It's international. I mean, it's not just one or two countries. What brought us all together? And there was that common thing of all being in the times of Atlantis, being part of developing and using and applying that technology. We're the ones who did this headband thing. We're the ones who are watching now as Atlantis is crumbling away. We're the ones who altered the natural cycles of evolution. And therefore, we are the ones that heard the call that went out from the house of Gabriel. And the call actually went out everywhere, to everyone. There was no ill intent. The intent was conformity and not control. The intent was so that you and everybody else had a similar physical and mental quality. So there was no ill intent. It wasn't like you set out to do something perverse and then it really went perverse. No. But you're the ones that heard the call because there was you could say a guilt or a shame. There was a remorse is probably the best word, wondering what had gone wrong. That's why you heard the call. That's why you made your way to Tien. Now we're back here. Exactly where we intended to be. We didn't know the year. We didn't have a title for it. We just knew it was the time to bring divine and human together on this planet in preparation of the new human species, where headbands weren't used. The new human species that would evolve and eventually share the wisdom, share the experience, and share the beauty of life to all the places we now call new earths. It's obvious why you're here. It's obvious. You are the Atlanteans. You are the ones that came here. From the temples of Tien and before that, you were the ones who worked with the crystalline energies to create the headbands, to improve humanity. But in a way, they also ended up limiting, restricting, imprisoning humanity. They kept consciousness trapped, prevented outside or additional consciousness of your soul, of you, to come in. And this happened not just with you, but with the entire planet. And it's been that way for a long, long time. It wasn't a mistake. There were reasons for it. There's nothing that you did wrong in your work in Atlantis with the headbands. But now it's time for these to come off. And that's what's Heaven's Cross is about. You are the Atlanteans that have come back now to help release the global headband and allow the energies of Heaven's Cross to be here for anyone who is ready. You are the Atlanteans, I know that, who promised to be here and stay here at this time. And now is that time. And there was a commitment on your part, a passion on your part to say, we're going to be here whenever it occurs for this evolution of humanity. We're going to be here because the brain is really one of the big issues with getting stuck, lack of freedom, not understanding into the other realms. The brain focused on this realm very, very well. But as you know by now, you can't get out of your brain, through your thinking. Can you imagine for a moment here that the next generation, generation of human species is not just brain-oriented, that it's able to truly tap into its other realms, what's beyond, where there's not the need for even language. There's not the need for as much logic. As the new species on the planets develop, this will be common rather than the exception. And it won't be considered being out there or crazy. It won't be schizophrenic. It will be a natural part of the human persona. And that's where we're going. That's why you, as Atlanteans, agreed to be here right now. Heaven's Cross was about opening the other realms, which have not been accessible, truly since the time of Lemuria, when you began incarnating in biological form, but more particularly after the headbands in Atlantis. It's been closed off. Now comes the time of Heaven's Cross. It will make this next wave that's coming in, that we've talked about for a long time, it will make the journey for them so much easier, the access into their own soul, the access into the non-mental, going beyond the planet, bridging them together. For so very long, humans have been here on Earth, in their human bodies and in their minds, and not really understanding the other realms. It was talked about by religions, talking about some sort of heaven, but with a God that wasn't particularly compassionate or understanding. Humans isolated themselves here on the planet, rebirthing time and time again, incarnating into the same families in the same regions, becoming incestuous within themselves, looking for a way out, but hoping another would find it first. So now we come to the time of Heaven's Cross, the real work, what you're doing here on the planet. Opening Heaven's Cross. Now, what that means poetically is that this encasement around human consciousness and around the human mass consciousness, there's going to be a hole in it, a crack in the eggs, so to speak. And that hole is going to open up, and it's going to allow more divine energies, more consciousness to flow to this planet. It's going to open up the other realms. And what it starts as a small little crack or opening, then will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it all ties in perfectly to what's happening with artificial intelligence, technology, people saying no more, and a huge release for this planet. So poetically, it's saying now you will have easier accessibility. You will have more accessibility to your divine nature, the rest of you. Heaven's Cross will be open. You'll know how to go in and out of it. You'll know how to go into the realms of your own soul and bring things back easily, without suffering. When Adamus backs away, he'll still come around, I'll still come around, but not quite so often. When the Crimson Council closes up shop here on the planet, they're going to turn it over to you. They're I'm going to turn it over to this group right here and the Crimson Circle. You'll be the dreamwalkers of the Heavenly Cross, Heaven's Cross. The ones who are ready now to reunite with their soul, to expand beyond just this heaven on earth. They'll be the ones relying on the dreamwalkers to take them, show them the way. Ultimately, they'll have to do it themselves, but the guidance that you provide, like the guidance of a dreamwalker death guide, is going to be invaluable. It's taken a long time to get here. It's taken the combined work of the Crimson Council and its thousands of members, and Shaumbra here on the planet, all over the planet. Taking a lot of heartache and headache, I know, but we're there. We're there now. Let's take a deep breath together for the work that's being done. Bringing it to culmination now.